Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Lily if you don't know me, and this is Lily's Book Haven. Little introduction to me: I am just someone who loves books, loves reading, loves everything about it, and I've been reading ever since I was little and finally got back into it while I was in college, and I decided, let me try this YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, everything out. I struggle with it. I don't have a whole bunch of material to use. You're currently being filmed on my iPhone, which is stuck to an Octobuddy, which is stuck to a mirror with a ring light on it. So that's how we're starting. I apologize if there's any issues with this, but I really appreciate you guys being here and watching this video. And onto the video. This has been on my list for probably a couple weeks now of something I wanted to do in 2026. And then also I saw Freya, an amazing booktuber, book talker. She actually did this video, I think it was yesterday or the day before, and it just made me want to do it even more. So it is going to be ranking all the series that I've read, kind of in the middle of, but have read majority of. And so I'm very, very excited for this. Originally, I just had fantasy series, but then I watched Freya's video, which I'll try to link it down below, and she had romance, and I didn't think of adding romance. So I went through my Goodreads and I found a bunch of series that I've read fully, and I added those in, so I'm very, very excited for this. If you can currently hear my laptop, I apologize. It does sound like it's about to take off sometimes, but I'm currently getting that set up with the tier list, all the pictures, and hopefully, if my editing is good enough, I'll be able to put this onto that and make a YouTube video. If not, then this will just be a fun little mistake that I tried to make. But I'm very, very excited for this. I thank you guys for sticking around this far and for watching the video, and I hope you enjoy. So as you will see, I have this tier ranking, every series I've read. This is on TierBuddy. It was just one that was recommended to me. Can I move this? I cannot. Okay, so I have 5 tiers. So number 1 tier is God tier. This could range from 5-star books to I think about this series all the time to I wish I could lose my memory and reread it again. Now, I will say a lot of my God tier series do not all have 5 stars. I feel like that is just kind of defeats the point of reading if every single book I read is a 5-star. So some of these, like, there may be a 2 or 3 star in there, but the series overall, absolutely loved. Second one is would reread every time. Series I just loved that I would reread every time that didn't quite make it to my God tier, but they did get fairly close. The third one is did what it needed to do. These are series that I absolutely enjoyed. They were comfortable. I could get through them. I could do exactly what I needed to reading them, but they just didn't give me that, high potential of what I wanted to. Number 4 is wanted more. These are series where I'm sitting here thinking there could have been a little bit more, or there could have been a little this or that, or we should have focused more on this or more on that, and they just didn't hit how I wanted them. And the last one is wish I didn't read sometimes. Now, these are all subjective, so if there's a series on here that you absolutely love that I say I wish I didn't read sometimes, that's okay. Reading is subjective. We have our own opinions. These are just mine, and unfortunately, this is just how it works out. There are some series that I read first couple books, got into them, and I just wish I didn't. But yeah, I'm very excited. So obviously the first one, Boys of Tommen, this is a very well-loved series. A lot of people live by this series, obsessed with it, to each their own. Unfortunately for me, this is one that I wish I didn't read sometimes. I read the first 2 books and they were okay. I think the first one I ended up giving like a 3-star. The second one I ended up also giving a 3-star. Third one, DNF'd it. Couldn't get into it, and I know there's more books out there, but unfortunately it's not a series that I will be continuing. And every time someone says, oh, you need to read it, I'm like, I have, and I didn't love it. But it's okay. It is what it is. There's just very deep topics, and there's some traumatic topics, and unfortunately my main issue was there were inappropriate scenes with characters that are meant to be underage, and I just did not vibe with that, but to each their own. If you love the series, I love that for you. The next one is one that I'm sure not a lot of people have heard of, in my opinion. It's by Ava Hunter. She mainly writes Kindle Unlimited, but she has been one of my just favorite authors. I found her when I first got back into reading. She does a lot of cowboy romance, small town romance, and they're just fantastic. And so this series is her Nashville Star series. I think there's 4 books, maybe there might be 5. I know I read all 4 books, and they are just about varying country music artists, small town, you got some cowboys, but they always have some kind of mystery plot to them. And that's one thing I love. It's like Ava Hunter, Catherine Cowles, Devney Perry, they all have the romantic suspense. Absolutely obsessed, absolutely loved them. This was one of those series that it did what it needed to do. When I was trying to get back into reading, I wanted something that I could sit down, I could enjoy, I could just be, oh, this is amazing, I'm obsessed with this, I can just read it, and I felt comfortable. Also, very entertaining, especially when they had that little bit of mystery aspect in there. Did exactly what I needed it. Side note, I'm trying the new Cherry Bomb Alani. It's okay. I know it's supposed to be like a cherry cola. I definitely feel like it's a little bit more cherry than cola, but I like it. I know a lot of people have mixed reviews about it, but it's okay. This next series is another one, guys, that it's one of those, it did exactly what it needed to do. If you have not read The Edens, I would say if you're looking for just some quick, fun, romantic suspense with family ties and just amazing kind of plot points and character growth, I highly recommend this series. There's one of these I think I gave it like a 4.5 star. There's one of them I think I gave a 3 star, but they are just exactly what it needed to be. And it's a family, and it's brothers and sisters, and you get to see their parents, and you get to see how they grow up in this small town and how they interact with each other, and it was just so fun. I absolutely was obsessed with it. And Devney Perry also is the author of Shield of Sparrows, which is one of my favorite fantasy series coming out. I did not put it on there because there's only 1 book, and unfortunately I do have the tendency that a second book may not hit, and it may bump it from a series that I absolutely love, series that I've read. So hopefully the next time I do one of these videos, that book series will be on here. Okay, so this next one, Rachel Gillig, The Woman That You Are. I absolutely love this woman with all of my heart. Her writing style was just amazing in this series. I love the magic system, the plot points, and that is One Dark Window, Two Twisted Crowns. It is going in, would reread every time. It might be a God tier. Oh, I'm gonna leave it at would reread every time because I do want to go back and do a full reread on my Kindle, and that's one of the books that I want to get to this year. She also has the Stonewater Kingdom, which is the second duology she has written, and the Knave and the Moon, which is the second book in that. It's coming out later this year, so we will see. So far, The Night and the Moth was a 5 star for me. We will see kind of what happens with the Knave and the Moon, but I think as of right now, I'm going to leave One Dark Window, Two Twisted Crowns as would reread every time. I absolutely love it. I'm obsessed, and it may be one of my God tier series. I definitely just want to go back and do a reread because I do think about Elspeth and Raven all the time, the magic system. It's absolutely amazing. So I do recommend. And the next one, guys, I fear if you have stuck around and you've been part of my TikTok journey, you absolutely know that Heartless Hunter and Rebel Witch is like one of my all-time favorite God tier series. It's a duology. It's a witch and a witch hunter. It's kind of a fun kind of fantasy duology to get into. It definitely kept me on my toes when I read it. I absolutely love it. I don't know if you can see, but Rebel Witch is displayed right behind me. I swap out Heartless Hunter and Rebel Witch. I love it. I highly recommend it. One of my favorites. It is what it is. The next one, guys, Windy City. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Now, this one I did kind of struggle to get into at first. Mile High, I enjoyed it. I think I gave it right around a 4 star, but then it was the right move. I didn't love it as much, unfortunately, but then caught up, play along, rewind it back, I was back in. Absolutely loved it. I definitely know that play along and I think rewind it back are 5 star read for me. So this is a series that I would reread every time. I have reread it multiple times. I just go back, I pay attention when reading, and I see things that I missed, and I connect things, and I love it. And this has more of a found family kind of feel. I do wish we would get like a novella book of just all of the group spending time together. That would be absolutely amazing. That's something that I would absolutely love. But I do know that In Her Own League, which is Monty's book, is coming out, I guess, in the next month or so. It is currently February, so I think it was March or April. Very, very excited about that, and I'm hoping that we will see more of these characters in that book, but I'm also so excited to see Monty and the lady that is in that book, because she just seems like such a powerhouse. Oh, I cannot think of her name. I promise I've looked at the book. This is terrible. This is terrible, but anyway, I do love this series. I highly recommend it. Liz Tomfors, she has some great writing, so if you have not read this, please do. The next one is Chestnut Springs. I have mixed emotions about Chestnut Springs, in all honesty. The first book, I DNF'd it twice. Finally read it through. I think I gave it a 3-star. For some reason, I just could not get into it. But the second book with Willa and Cade, absolutely loved it. I think it was like a 4.5 star. Amazing. 10 stars. Powerless, I think it was back down to kind of a 3-star. I did not love it as much, and I think it was just more of the storyline in it. And then we have Reckless. Guys, you guys know that Reckless is one of my 5 stars. I have it over on my top shelf in my rainbow shelf. I've reread it many times. I have annotated. I just absolutely love Winter and Theo. Their story was just amazing, and it's not a trope that I normally run towards, but I was just obsessed and I couldn't get over it. And then the last one, again, it kind of fell flat for me. I DNF'd it the first time, and then the second time I think I ended up giving it about a 4-star. So while I do have a God tier book in this series, I am going to put it in did what it needed to do, just because overall it did not hit where I wanted it to. And I absolutely hate that, but again, it is what it is. Okay, guys, this next one, the Harry Potter series. I'm doing a reread right now. I got a new paperback box set, and I'm so excited because I'm going through, I'm annotating, I'm seeing things again, and I'm amped up for the TV show that HBO Max is working on. Fingers crossed everything, works out. It's good, but I'm hoping we'll get whispers of a release date end of this year and sometime in 2027. But if you guys don't know, growing up reading, Harry Potter is one of the first big fantasy book series that I really got into, and I've reread the series in total probably 4 or 5 times, and then each book individually I've kind of read them various times, especially in class when they're like, just go to the library, grab a book. I'd go grab one of those and I'd finish it in 2 days. It's a God tier. It's a God tier series for me. I don't care what anyone says. I love the books, I love the movies, I love the world, I love the universe. The Fantastic Beasts movies, they're not as top tier as the Harry Potter movies, but I do absolutely love them. They're such a good just display of this world. I think they were fantastically done. I have read Harry Potter and the Cursed Child. I've yet to see the play, but Tom Felton's playing Draco in it right now, and I would have loved to go and see it, but I did read the screenplay before it kind of got developed. Absolutely loved it. Obsessed. I love this universe. Amazing. Oh, and this next one. Sorry guys, I need a yes, that's what I needed. This next one, guys. So I read, I guess, The Maze Runner back, I think it was middle school, maybe early high schooler, and I only read the first one for some reason, and I don't know why. I don't know if I thought, it just kind of ended on a cliffhanger, but I had no idea that the series was continued. And so I think it was my freshman year of college. Yeah, 2021. Right before I started, I got a box set for Christmas. Now it's only Maze Runner, Scorched Trials, Death Cure. So I only read those 3 books, but it is absolutely a God tier series for me. I did read kind of over a third of, I think it was Fever Code. And it was just at the time where I did not have time to read as much. And so I do plan to go back and do an entire reread of the series with all the new books and collect them. I need a new box set. Unfortunately, mine, I have them upstairs in another book room, but the last 2 books got wet when I took them to the beach. So they're a little bowed and there's some damage to the cover. So I do want to get a new set, and I kind of want to get them all in hardbacks, but we will see. The next one is, of course, the Off Campus series. Basic as all get out on Kindle Unlimited. hockey romance, very, very spicy. That was one thing I did not really care for in it, but they are just some quick little hockey romance college era books that if you're in a slump and you just need something kind of cheesy romance, pick those up. They're just absolutely fantastic to read. I think the second one, which is The Mistake, it's a 5-star. It's one of my god tier books, but overall the series is just not hit for me, but it is one that I would of course reread every single time, especially when I plan to just go in and, oh, can I not add it? Hello? Oh, I can add it there. Okay, there we go. It did what it needed to do though. And I still would reread some of the Diblet, but it just overall was not my favorite. I know they had the Briar U universe. I only read the first 2 books after that, did not really care for it. And then they have their new series, which is I guess the Legacy U series. And it kind of follows various of the original group's children. I read the first one. I loved it, thought it was great. Second one, 3-star. Third one, could not get into it. And then I know the 4th one, Love Song, is coming out sometime earlier in 2026. So we'll see if I decide to pick it up. If it's on Kindle Unlimited, I might just read it. But yeah, I'll put it and did what I needed to do. Okay, guys. This next one, I love this. I love this series. I do. I loved the movies. I loved the books. I read them. I ate them up. But I am the kind of person that just automatically ignores what happened at the end. So in my mind, everything worked out. They live happily ever after. Bada bing, bada boom. That's what happens. That's me. That's how I take it. Because when I read the original kind of ending, I was baffled and I gave the book a 2-star. But if I ignore it, it's a 4-star. But I am going to would reread every time. I've reread the series twice now. And I do want to reread it again. I want to get set. I had read them all on Kindle, so I do have them all on my Kindle. But I do kind of want a set. And I don't know if I want a hardback set or a paperback set. I'm unsure yet. But it is one that, you know, every time I go to a secondhand bookstore and I see them, I debate of picking them up. And I do try to get a lot of my older books, especially at secondhand bookstores, because so many people have these books. They, you know, read them once and then they take them there. So I try to give them the love and stuff they deserve. But yeah. Again, this next one is another one. I read the first 3, absolutely loved them. It does have Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. Have not read it. Also the Sunrise on the Reaping. Have not read that as well. It is another would reread every time, almost a god tier series. I don't know if I will ever read the continuations, just because in my opinion, I think the original 3 were exactly what they needed to be. I feel like everything was perfect, and I know there was a lot of fans that were pushing for background of Snow and Haymitch and some other characters, and so I feel like that's kind of why she's writing more of these books. I would have loved that, you know, if it was novellas, but I do know a lot of people are asking for them. I just don't really have an interest just because I love the first 3. I love the movies. So again, we will see. I may read them at a time. And then I do need to get a new set of The Hunger Games. I read them all on my Kindle, and then I had the first 2 in paperback. And again, they ended up at the beach. They ended up getting damaged, but these were ones I got from Goodwill for like $2. So while my heart was broken that books were damaged, I wasn't too put out at the fact that they were, because I did not spend that much money on them. But a friend of mine did have her brand new sprayed edge editions drenched with rainwater. So that I do, my heart breaks for her. Okay, on to another one. Lauren Asher. You guys know I love me some Lauren Asher. And I totally forgot to put the Lakefront Billionaire series on here. I have the Dreamland Billionaire series, but not the Lakefront. Well, both of these will go together. Unfortunately, these are reread every time. Not unfortunately, why did I say that? These are reread every single time. Both of them. I have 5-star books in here. I have 4-star books in here. I love this series. I love just kind of the universe that Lauren Asher has created, the storylines, the plot lines. Again, these are spicy, so I did have to skip over a lot of things that is just not something I like to read, my preference, but storyline wise, I absolutely was obsessed with this series. I loved all the characters. I loved just the plot points, especially the Dreamland Billionaire series, about this being like the Disney World equivalent in this universe. Absolutely amazing. Loved it. I ate it up. I reread it every time. I do have them all down on my bookshelf, but they are on Kindle Unlimited. So if you have Kindle Unlimited, there you go. All right, we have my first series going on, The Wanted More, and it is Summer I Turned Pretty. Guys, first book, I think I gave it 3-star. Second book, it was like a 4.5 star. I was obsessed. I love it. And the third book, it went back down to a 3-star. I unfortunately felt like there was so much more that could have happened from this. There was so much more that could have, been taken away, so much added. And I hate just how this perfect found family was shattered by a girl because she couldn't decide what she wanted. And I love the show as much as the next person, but it frustrated me to a point that if this happened in real life and I was watching this, I would stop talking to every single person involved just because of the immaturity and kind of just the weakness. I hated it. But I loved Jenny Han. I loved To All the Boys I Loved Before. Those books and those movies, absolutely favorite. But unfortunately, this series did fall very flat for me. And I read them, of course, in the summertime. So I thought, it'd be perfect. But I did a reread and I realized I don't love these as much as I thought I did. And I gave them my updated ratings. And I said, I feel like this is just not a series I need to continue with. And so I did donate those. And then now we have another I wish I did not read. Guys, flame me all you want. This series, the Shatter Me series, I absolutely could not stand. Unfortunately, I had so many people saying, you're gonna love it, it's amazing. And while everyone's reading is subjective, I felt very lied to. First off, unfortunately, spoiler, but everyone is obsessed with one of the male main characters. And he, unfortunately for me, is a creep. And in one of the books, he blatantly assaults the female main character, and everyone still thinks of him as this amazing, handsome, top book boyfriend, and I could not get past that. And of course, I read the first 3 books. I said, okay, I'm done. And then I realized there's novellas, there's more. And supposedly, even though it's not addressed in the first 3 books, they somehow make it to where the female main character knew the other male main character back when they were kids and all of this. I said, that does not justify a single thing. Even if he remembered and she didn't, he still assaulted her. And I think I anger read myself through the first 3 books. And everyone's like, you're going to love him, you're going to fall in love. No, I did not. I absolutely hated it. I feel like maybe if I read this in middle school, we might see, but could not stand it. That's my opinion. Anyone who justifies a male main character assaulting, the female main character, unfortunately, it was not for me. And I may have, misread things or, it may make sense in the future. But in the first book, when I read it, to me, it was blatantly clear what had happened. And that is what my mind was made up. Nothing was going to justify that. I said what I said. Okay, guys. This next one is one I literally just finished yesterday. Very, very excited about it. But the Six of Crows duology, guys, this is a God tier series. If you have not read this series, I recommend it. Of course, you don't have to read the Shadow and Bone trilogy, but you may be a little confused in the Crooked Kingdom because some characters kind of cross over and get mentioned. But guys, I absolutely was obsessed with this first book. I read it back in November of 2025, and it is now February 2026. I just finished Crooked Kingdom. I changed my rating of the first one, too. I had it at like a 4.25, 4.5, 5-star. I think back to it. I said that was a 5-star. Reading Crooked Kingdom, that was a 5-star. I love everything about the series. I love the found family. I love the different heists and quests they were on. I loved the magic system. I loved kind of how every single character, I hated it sometimes, was an unreliable narrator, so it took me a little bit to get through, but I also now love the fact that every single character was almost an unreliable, I love how every single character was an unreliable narrator because it just made their story so much more deeper and intense. Guys, Absolutely love it. God tier series for me. If I could have amnesia, I would love to reread it over and over again. And then that brings us to the Shadow and Bone trilogy. I read this, I think it was probably high school, and then the show was coming out, so I got it again and I reread it. And of course, first book, was obsessed, love it, and I kind of wish I didn't donate them. I kind of want them again, but they may be on Kindle Unlimited. First one, I loved it. I was happy. I was in the vibe. Second one, I was like, oh, not really loving this. Third one, I feel like everything just kind of went downhill for me. And I don't know if it's just I couldn't keep up with it, if I had spent too much time between the two. Unfortunately, one of my main issues was the male main character that she ended up with just was insufferable to me. And sometimes the female main character was insufferable to me. And obviously, I did not want her to end up with the bad guy. That is, I know a lot of people ship that. I did not. I wanted her to get as far away from these people as she possibly could, find her own person, and grow. But of course, that is not how the book ended, and that is kind of why I didn't love it. And the second time reading, I did DNF the third book. Maybe I'll try it again. But unfortunately, I did want more from this. The world building in the first book and part of the second book, you know, building everything up, the conflict, kind of the mystery, the villain, everything was amazing. And then I just felt like it kind of fell flat for me. So maybe I just need to give it another reread, but for right now it's under wanted more. All right. This next one, guys, I do have mixed emotions about this one just because I loved the first two. First one was a 5-star, second one was very good, third one kind of plateaued for me. And I don't know if it's because I read them all back to back to back while I was working, so I was kind of just tired and exhausted, but unfortunately it did not hit how I wanted it to. And then we're still waiting on the fourth one, and I thought it would possibly come out this summer, but the date is missing from Goodreads for when it's to be released, so we will see. But it is the Spark of the Everflame, Curse of the Everflame Heat. I'm going to put it right now in would reread every time. For a little bit, I thought it might be a God tier series for me, but obviously that depends on if it becomes a 4-series, 5-series book, and if we kind of get an update on it. Right now, it is sitting at a soft DNF series for me, because if we do not get the fourth book sometime in this year, my plan is just kind of soft DNF it, you know, sit with it. And then once the entire series is out, I may do a full reread, but I would reread it. I plan to reread it. This next one, as of right now, it is still a God tier series. That is the Prison Healer trilogy, also on Kindle Unlimited. At the time, I was just wanting kind of some fun fantasy books that were completed that, you know, I wouldn't get invested and have to wait a year for the next one, because I think I just finished reading ACOTAR and Fourth Wing and all of those books and some romance series that I was waiting on. And so I picked up Prison Healer on Kindle Unlimited. Absolutely loved it. Absolutely obsessed. It was just such a fun and wild ride. And of course, everything is very kind of predictable in the series, but I just enjoyed it so much. I thought about the characters. I thought about the plot points. I thought about the betrayals, the back and forth, so much that I actually, when I went to Second and Charles, they had the entire set for like $12, $13, I believe. I bought them, and I do plan to do a reread so I can annotate them, because I just absolutely loved them. They were so good. Obsessed. And then we moved to Crescent City. Oh, guys, I think this is another God tier series for me right now. I had so many kind of emotions while reading. The first one, I think, was a 4.75. The second one was a very high rating, and then the third one was another like 4.75. They were almost 5-star books. The plot, Bryce Quinlan, I absolutely love her. I love the world building. I love the family dynamic that comes through. I love kind of how enemies become friends to become enemies to become friends. I love how, especially in the third book, Sarah J. Maas does some crazy stuff with her writing, and she connects things so well. Absolutely loved it. There may be another book for Crescent City. We don't know yet. We're also still waiting on the next ACOTAR book, but it is a God tier series for me. Sorry about that. I got a message and I had to respond to it real quick. So one of the next series is the ACOTAR series. Unfortunately, this kind of fell flat for me as well. The first one, thought it was good, didn't enjoy it. Second one got a little better. The third one, really enjoyed, like how everything wrapped up. The novella, did not care for it. And the Silver Flames was actually probably my favorite, minus all the spice scenes. So I'm gonna put it in, did what it needed to do, because for why is it not going? There we go. For what I was wanting with the book series, I was expecting more, especially with how hyped up it was for me. But I did read it kind of after reading Throne of Glass, and I was kind of on a high from that. And I had already tried to read ACOTAR a while back, and I DNF'd it. And so rereading a second time, I think I was just kind of more focused on reading it because I know I needed to read it, especially for starting Crescent City. So there's a lot of that. But I will, I guess, do a reread before the 6th book comes out, whenever we have a whisper of that. But absolutely loved it at the time. Didn't absolutely love it. I enjoyed what I was reading when I read it. Okay, and then we have Throne of Glass. This is a God tier series for me. I absolutely loved it. I loved the actual found family in this series. I loved how we are kind of introduced to all of these characters in all different points of lives, and then miraculously they all connect to each other. Of course, my favorite characters are Elide and Lorcan. Absolutely obsessed with them. They are my favorite. I do just want to do a reread just to see them again. I did love just Chaol and Dorian and Selena and Lysandra and Aelin and all of them. They were absolutely fantastic characters. So I plan to do a reread at some time this year. We will see. It might just be kind of a slow reread once I finish my Harry Potter, that as I'm reading other books, I just have it there with me. But I loved it. It was great. God tier series. And then we move on to my Crowns of Nyaxia. This is another series. I've only read the first 2 in the series, so it's kind of premature on here. But as I can say, for the first 2, they are God tier for me. I absolutely love Araya and Rain. I am obsessed with them. I'm obsessed with their storyline. I'm obsessed with the plot points. I just finished a reread of Serpent and the Wings of Night, and I'm about to start Ashes and the Star-Cursed King for a reread. I love this series, this little duology, and I'm hoping to continue with the series. So how it's set up is there's going to be 6 books, and there's 2 books per couple. And so once I finish the first series, the next series will follow Mish and whoever her male love interest is. So I'm very excited for that. But for right now, the first 2 are definitely a God tier for me, just because I think about them. I'm obsessed with them. It's just, I enjoyed them so much. Once Upon a Broken Heart, again, God tier series for me. God tier series. So if you have not heard of this kind of universe, apparently Caraval you need to read before this because you're introduced to Jax in that series. I did not. I DNF'd Caraval the time I tried to read it. And also I found out that the only character I like was not actually going to be the main character of the series, so I just did not want to read it. It's fine. You can read Once Upon a Broken Heart. It's just there's mentions of Jax's past. And so there is that. But absolutely love the series. First one, amazing. Second one, my favorite. Third one, could have had a little bit more, a little bit better, but overall, like, this is a series I think about. I think about these characters. I have a playlist dedicated to them. I love it. I would highly recommend. We're down to our final 3, guys. Oh, this is crazy. So the next one, we have The Cruel Prince, another God tier series for me. Holly Black just put something in her books that just makes me obsessed with them, and her writing style. I loved it. Now, unfortunately, the first time I read The Cruel Prince, I DNF'd it, or I finished it, didn't love it, sold them. Then something in me was like, no, I keep kind of thinking about this. Bought them again, reread them, absolutely obsessed with the series. I've also read the Stolen Heir duology, another, reread every single time duology. I love these books. There's just something in them, the storyline, the yearning, the plot system. I love Jude just as who she is. She's absolutely amazing. She's everything I want in a female main character. And so that is why these books are on this God tier. If you have not read them, they are a little hard to get into. It's a lot more fantasy, and the romance doesn't really come along till later in the books. but I was okay with that because I just wanted the plot points and I wanted Jude. That's all I cared about. Then we have the powerless, reckless, fearless Lauren Roberts. There's discourse possibly about plagiarism from the first Powerless book, from another series that I DNF'd, but I do plan to kind of reread that other series, but nothing has been spoken on, and nothing has gone right out and claimed anything, so I don't really have a opinion on it. It is what it is, but this was a series that it did exactly what it needed to do. At the time, I didn't really love the first one. It took me a little bit to get through the second one. Kind of cat and mouse. Also, I enjoyed it more. The little novella broke my heart, ripped my heart out 5 stars. And Fearless, I really enjoyed that book. Kind of just how everything wrapped up in a nice bow. It was really, really good. It is what it is. So it did exactly what it needed to do for me. I think they're on Kindle Unlimited, possibly, so you can read them there as well. And then the last one, guys, the last one is My Fourth Wing. Rebecca Yarros does something to me. Side note, if you have not read Rebecca Yarros' contemporary romance books, go read them. They will rip your heart out just the same. They are amazing. And so that is why we don't have like the next book yet, because she's slotted to write so many contemporary romance books, but I'm okay with it because I love them. But this is a God tier series. Now, is every book greatly written? No. Is there things in here that I'm sitting like, that was cheesy, that was terrible, I hated it? Yes. But it's okay. I loved it. It did exactly what it needed to. I think about it. I think about the characters. I also have a playlist. I've done rereads. I'm obsessed. So it's God tier for me. I think about it all the time. It is what it is. So, guys, this is the overview. This is kind of what I rated. Of course, I do have a good bit of God tier books, and I do have a bit of books that I would reread and then did what it needed to do. Now, I won't lie, I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 of these are on Kindle Unlimited, guys. I'll tell you that. Also, if you have a Libby, I'm sure you can look up and see. But if you have, access to anyway, I highly recommend reading majority of these. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Let me go ahead and pause this. I hope it saved. Guys, I'm very excited. All right, but guys, I want to thank you so much for watching. I know this video might be a little chaotic. Very, very excited about it though. I know this has just been an idea that I had been thinking of for a while, and then when I saw Freya do it, I said I absolutely have to. Also, if you have not watched her video, I'll do my best to link it down below, but her name's Freya Valerio, I believe, Freya V. Amazing book talker. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for clicking on this video, watching this video. I hope you enjoyed my opinions and hot takes. If you kind of have anything difference of opinions, please comment it. I love to have discussion about this. I will not do arguments though, guys. I don't like arguing with people. Reading is subjective. Reading is whatever you need it to be. So, but if you just want to have a friendly conversation or ask about books, please go ahead. But I thank you guys for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one.